Okay, hello Ma'am Zulfa. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introducing, I'm Puspito Wahani from the A class. So in here, let me deliver my answer for the attached question to fulfill my kind of like final assignment in the literary reading. So for the first question is, what kind of like book that I have already choose? So the novel or the book in here that I have already choose and read it is like a Bumi Manusia by Pramudia Ananta Tour. So in here, what's the reason do I choose this kind of like a particular novel is here it is. Okay, so for the first question in here, I would like to answer it. So what's the reason do I choose this kind of like particular novel, Manusia from the Pramudia Ananta Tour? Is because this is kind of like book that I have already bought it before a long time ago. Long time ago, I have already read it maybe about twice, and I have already watched the film, and I love the love story that are built up by Pramudia Ananta Tours between Minke and Annalise. I do really all of those romance that are happening in this kind of like book. I do really love how the Pramudia trying to build up their romance life path and something like that. And the second reason is like I do really love the roles of the Nyai Antosoro. Yeah, Nyai Antosoro in here are built up as the mother of the Annalise that are portrayed as the intelligence, very wise, and she indigenous person from the Indonesian that has already know about some kind of like knowledge that out of the box from the people that are around her, like it's kind of like amazing, like it's kind of like invention at that time. And then to find people or to find a woman that is kind what is like a direct this kind of like a one factory without any husband at all, and it's like rise up her daughter without any husband, like her daughter, and there is one son, and the last things like might as well I have already read this kind of like novel. I have already know about this story, and there is and then rise up one kind of like assignment from the literary reading to choose some kind of like novel that are provided over there. And of course I choose this kind of like novel that I have already known it, I have already watched it, the film, and I've already know about the life story right there. Okay, so for the second question in here is what kind of like theory that are relevant to this kind of like a novel Bumi Manusia. I choose the post-colonial theory. So we have already known before that this kind of like post-colonial theory is kind of like mainly discussing about the main point or like kind of like the purpose of the colonization that happened a long time ago from the colonizer to decolonize a country to make them similar as the part of the ethnic politics that happened a long time ago, and they are trying to plant their awful mindset to the indigenous people in here, is like especially for Indonesian people to think if the colonizer is kind of like a hero for them because they are bring Indonesian people or the colonized country to become more modern and to bring the new technology, and or in other words that the colonizer trying to make them think if this is they are beneficial to their colonized country, and they are like a hero in here. And this is for the second reason, for the second question that I have already read from the book. And for the third question in here is like why do I choose this kind of like story and how I like this kind of story, because related to this kind of post-colonial theory, the post-colonial theory that are happening in this kind of like novel. In here, the main as the real main point of the novel portrayed by the by the Pramadya as the students, or as the just like the regent's son. And like he has already just like the Pramadya built up this kind of like a role as the just like a student that are very admire to the West technology, to West encouragement and something like that, like his admiration to some kind of like the West technology make him forget to who is he actually, like who is he real truly, so something like that. So in this here, I do really love Minke as the real main point. And but like after the real turning point that happened is that in the end of the story that he explained that the West country that is trying to colonize this kind our country, actually they are smart, but they don't have any attitude. They do not human being, because sometimes their greedy kind of animals things, like it's just like the animals character, and they don't have any human beings feeling or something like that, like we don't really so far from them. So Pramadya trying to explaining about all of this post-colonial things theory that are happen from the Minke's perspective, Minke's mindset of his admiration that are make him drown, like from his expectations. In the end of the story, after he has already married with Annalise, that Annalise just like conducted by these kind of like the Dutch government or something, like all of those things happened, like. And because of those stories between Minke and Annalise that are happening and trying to make us understand if the colonizer of that is very worse, it's very worse. It's out of the box that we can imagine. It's like do really worse. So we are very just like blessed if we have already it's just like burned in this kind of like year. So maybe this is kind of like my answer to my final assignment. So thank you very much, Ma'am Zulfa, for listening for me. Maybe it's more than 4 minutes, so thank you very much.